Hi, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your June 25th, 2025 new moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, so thank you so very much for doing so. And if you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, a healing, or a gift card, check out my website, danehartguidedmessages.com. It's listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So let's take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, Scorpio, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show them clearly. Guide this reading and show them clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show them clearly. Guide this reading and show them clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. All right, just give me a moment. All right, at the heart of it all for this new moon in Cancer on the 25th of June is the Six of Pentacles. Scorpio, you're going to see things fall into balance, especially around money, which is very, very, very nice. But money, what you value as much as money, things are starting to come into balance. Also, things are starting to come into perspective. You've been putting yourself under a lot of pressure, a lot of demands. And here there's going to be a harmonize. There's going to be a way of looking at things. And you're like, oh, this is what I want. This is what I need. This is where I'm going. This is what I desire. And that's going to open up the door quite nicely for you. But there's also a sense of like knowing your worth now and looking at the bigger picture of where it is that you want to be, how it is that you want to move things forward. You're not underselling yourself anymore. And you've done that for quite a bit. And the challenge here, the challenge here is the Page of Wands. And I have to laugh because that's the challenge, right? Here, she's celebrating herself. She's like throwing her baton up in the air, right? Her wand. But it really very much feels like a celebration, a success. It's like, I always look at this card and think of when you throw your cap off at graduation. And so here with the Page of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So if you're born on the cusp with Sagittarius, if you have fire sign energy in your chart, you can find that part of your personality just feels like a little bit stuck. It could be challenging. You can have you can want to have a bit of a tantrum like a child, right? And I laugh at this because there's something here that has been like unfair and you hadn't let yourself have a tantrum about it. You hadn't let yourself be upset about it. But once you do, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I see it. It's like, okay, I mourn it. Okay, I see it. I get it. But you're also going to start to listen to the way that you want to transform your life. And a lot of it is going to seem silly, like childish dreams. And you're going to be amazed at how those childish dreams really help you, really guide you, really like let you move things forward. So that is really, really, really nice. I like that. Even though it is the challenge, right? But the challenge is to have that exuberance, to have that creativity, to let that creativity shine forward. Instead of you were like suppressing yourself. You were making yourself less than for one reason or another. It's kind of like you wanted to fit into a certain box or a certain way, or have people see you a certain way, and it just wasn't you. And it's like, it's not going to work. It's like Cinderella's stepsisters trying to shove their foot into her slipper. It wasn't going to work. It didn't work. And so here, you have to let yourself be you. You have to let yourself wear the right size shoes, right type of thing, and embrace your destiny. And it moves us then to where we need to focus on, and that is the Six of Swords, the repeat of the number six. Six is a very, very nurturing number. So this is going to be a time where you need to nurture yourself. This is also, the new moon in Cancer is also a very rich time of emotional manifestation. So what you set your heart on, what you're looking at emotionally, you're going to see yourself manifesting in your life for better or for worse, right? And so here with the Six of Swords, you're heading on your adventure. You're setting out on a quest. And it doesn't matter what type of quest, it doesn't matter how old you are. So often we sit there and we restrict ourselves by age. We say, oh no, I have to be like this, I have to be like that. This is saying, take your knowledge and move forward. Cut through the emotions, the doubts, the fears. The crows and the ravens will guide you, even though most people are afraid of crows and of ravens. You look at it, and I always think of the Morgan in Celtic mythology, right? But the Morgan, even though she was, the goddess of the battlefield, she was also the goddess of poetry, right? Was it poetry or was it creativity? I can't remember which one. I also know Brigitte was the goddess of poetry and connection. So there's that overlap, but more in Celtic myth means great, or in the Celtic language means greatness, right? In Irish Celtic. So here there is in Irish Gaelic, it means great. And so there's a sense of meeting the greatness of yourself and letting the greatness of yourself move you forward, even though it is scary, even though it does lead to battles, even though it does lead to loss and gain and everything in between. And you're heading on this road, and you are on this path, you're cutting through the emotions, you're setting sail, and you have so much with you. But so often we just don't see it. So that is going to be, it's exciting. I'm excited for you. It moves us then to our past, what's leaving us behind. The doors have opened. You could have gone on a trip. You could have, opened the doors in another way. A trip is just very, it's a very like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I totally did that type of thing. But you could have opened the doors another way, tried something new, looked at things differently. And you're opening to what you want in your life, to what you see yourself, how you see yourself as moving forward. And you're looking at things so differently. But now, as the doors have opened for you, you're also closing certain things. And it can be that you hear, like a door like pulling closed. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. You're pulling that door closed. You're saying no to something. And that's going to be very important for you. It's going to be very insightful as well as to what you're saying no to. I do not want this anymore. And it moves us to our strength during this moon. And that's the Three of Pentacles. This is working with others, yes. But this is also going to be knowing your worth in what you're working at, in what you're working towards. So it's going to be very interesting, because you're always more than willing, or there's an energy here of like more than willing to say, oh no, they did this and they did that, and oh, they did this, and kind of downplaying what you do. And now you're stepping into things and you're like, no, what I do is very important. And you're seeing that within yourself. And you're seeing how there can even be like different aspects of yourself. And this doesn't have to be working with others. So you do need that kind of like bouncing off of ideas and inspiration. What you're going to see is that you're stepping into your path and stepping into what you desire. And there are different hats that you wear. There are different ways that you do things that you are embracing as well. You're going to be inspired creatively by outside influences. And you're also going to be working with others, but there is that sense of like, do not give them all the credit, right? That's going to be very important. You're very good at being a team player. You're very good at working with different energies, different people, but, stand in your power, stand in what you want, and also see the different ways that you are creating for yourself, for the bigger picture of what you're moving towards. And it moves us then to the near future. And this is the Two of Swords, which is very interesting. So the Two of Swords here, right? Remember the crows, right? You're finding a balance, you're finding a harmony within yourself, but you feel like you've been blindfolded. You feel like you haven't seen for a while, or you've been kind of like, it's kind of like feeling out in the dark, right? Groping in the dark, like going like, I don't know, like where's the light switch type of thing. And what you're going to see is that ideas are opening up to you, and you're going to see you're taking a path that you hadn't taken before, or you didn't think was possible. And it's like, but I need to move forward this way. but I need to see this. I need to understand. And it is taking a path less traveled. And it's like you thought it was A or it was B. You can move forward this way, you can move forward that way. And now you're going to see yourself taking your own path, taking your own power. And Scorpio, so many sit there, and in astrology, right, you're ruled by Pluto. But go back, because it's important. If you go back in astrology, before Pluto was discovered, and now it is a dwarf planet, right? It's not one of the main ones, and there are other dwarf planets. You are ruled by Mars, and that makes perfect sense, because the other energy that's ruled by Mars is Aries, right? Aries is the warrior on the battlefield. You'll see them; they are big and they're bold. They can also be like the berserker in literature and history. So that's that energy. You are the spy. You are the stealth bomber. You're what isn't seen, and that's very important as well. So when you look at yourself and you see the face that the world sees, but you see the face that you see what the world thinks you should do, okay? Or what people around you think you should do. And you know what your soul desires. And you're going to have people talk against you. And there are going to be times where you have fallen into the trap of what they have said must be true. But now you're finding your footing, you're finding yourself, you're moving yourself forward. And it's like, no, it is the path less traveled that a Scorpio feels most comfortable walking. And it moves us then to the advice. And the advice is the Eight of Swords. Get out of your own head. Get out of your own head. Get out of your own way. Here, right, you're listening. The crows are either tying you up, but they look to be untangling you. Here, they're tangling you. She's looking into the mirror. She's perfectly fine. But what she sees is somebody who is bound, somebody who is blindfolded, somebody who can't. And stop. You're not somebody who can't. You are somebody who can. Powerfully, tenaciously, beautifully. Get out of your own head, okay? Which sounds harsh, but this is a time of profound emotional manifestation. What you believe, what you feel, comes forward. And it seeps into every avenue, every part of your being, every ounce of your soul. So believe in you and see you as the success, as the prosperity, as the bounty that you are, because it moves us then to the environment. And the environment that is around you is the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is, and they all live happily ever after. I mean, who doesn't want this? I love the Ten of Cups. It's joy, it's success, but it's saying, this is what I love. This is how my love leads me forward. This is what is beautiful to me. This is what is joyous to me. This is where my heart lies. And you're opening up that door for yourself. The Ten of Cups is, you've completed a cycle emotionally. You've been through the ringer. You've been through the circuit of emotions. You've been through the stages of grief in life and in existence. And now you're seeing what makes you happy right here, right now. Again, do no harm, walk gently on this earth, but embrace your joy. And that is the environment that this new moon in Cancer is putting you in while you set out your intentions for the moon to come, but also for the next full moon in Cancer to come, to say, what do I want? What do I love? What am I looking for within myself? What do I desire? Because the hopes and the fears here is strength. This is Leo energy, right? This is the sun. Cancer is ruled by the moon and is in the new moon energy. Here we have the sun coming forward. The sun rules Leo. And what you're going to see is that the hope is that I can be strong. The fear is that I will always have to be strong. There will never be anybody to help carry the load. And there will be people to help carry the load. It might not look the way that we had wanted it to. We might find ourselves taking unconventional avant-garde paths, defining our world and ourselves the way that we want to. Strength is leading us forward. And you might find, Scorpio, that when you ask people, and like, what tarot card do you see me as? Right? Your friends that like the tarot, or people in your family, and they might sit there and say strength. And you might be like rude. You might be like rude. I don't like Leos. I've had people say that before, which I think is hysterical. And no offense to Leos at all, but and Leo is a time frame of, July 23rd to August 22nd. So it's just around the river bend type of deal. And so here we have strength coming forward, but this isn't brute force strength. This isn't, I need to have the spotlight on me all the time. That is a certain type of Leo. That is a certain type of energy, more underdeveloped, more young energy, more young soul. Strength is the strength of soul, the strength of self. It is the courage to stand tall. It is embracing what you love. It is embracing who you are. And it's letting your heart guide you forward. And it's not being afraid to let love be your guidance. And it moves us then to the outcome, and that's the world. You stand at the cusp of the whole entire world. You're opening up to yourself, to what you love, to finding your place in the world, to say, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, this is how I want to move forward, this is where I really don't want to be. And you're finding where you stand in the world, where you stand for yourself, what you love, what you desire, what you want, what you need. And the world is opening to you in a way that you hadn't expected, where you thought, oh, okay, my world might be small, or it would never be XYZ. And now there's very much a sentiment of, I'm breaking down doors. I'm opening up to where I want to be. And the world isn't going to be small. It can be small in the sense of like you have your little corner of the world, right? People talk about life and they think it has to be big, right? You have to buy the fanciest car, have the biggest house, do all these things, but you can have a very good life and it be calm and gentle and kind and small by people's standards, right? But so rich. And that's the world that you're stepping into, where you're defining it. And it's not keeping up with the Joneses or the Kardashians, right? It is saying, this is what my soul wanted. This is what my soul longs for. The doors have opened and now I'm closing the doors on what I don't want anymore. And it brings us to the moon's message for this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Love how that just fell right out. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Ooh. There we go. We have here sovereignty, the queen of the moon. Confidence is your key to success. It's the Leo energy coming through again. It's that confidence. It is the sovereignty within the self, the mastery of the self, the being the king, the queen, the ruler of self comes through your confidence. And it's letting yourself shine. It brings us then to hunger. What are you longing for? A win-win outcome is forecast, but there's something you're longing for. There's something you're hungry for. There's something that you feel deprived of. It's like, I long for XYZ. This moon, if you sit in quiet contemplation, write your intention and put it in a crystal bowl if you can, or a singing bowl, or, just a cup. It doesn't have to be anything fancy at all. It does help, they do say, like if it's crystal, but it doesn't have to be, or glass. Glass would be good too, okay? And what you're going to see is that you're putting your intention into the water. Now you can drink that water afterwards, you can water your plants with it, but when you look into it, look into that water. And as you put your attention in, ask Spirit to show you what you've been hungering for. And you will actually see it. You will. It may not be right then when you put the bowl out into the water, it might be afterwards when you go to put it back into the house, right? Or the next day when you look into it. But you will see what you've been hungering for. And even if it's like you start to notice birds flying around that you hadn't noticed before, and it's like a freedom of expression, freedom of self. There could be a clarity of voice. You could start hearing birdsong or crickets or something like that. And it's like, oh, to be heard, to be seen, to fly free. It moves us then to faith. Take time to breathe out. Have faith in your being. In Tai Chi, there's the dragon breath. When you breathe in and you breathe out like this, it activates your being. It centers you. So here, having faith to breathe out, to embrace your strength, to say, this is what I want. But also to see, what do you want from the world as you connect with it, as you breathe with it. your subconscious, not your subconscious, your spirit message is angels and spirit guides show them clearly. But you could also breathe. Okay, when you put out your intention, when you put out that bowl of water, you can put your intention into it if you want to. You can speak it over it if you want to. You don't have to write it on a piece of paper and put it in if you don't want. But breathe. Breathe in the energy of the moon. Okay? If you can be outside and do, the dragon breath. If you can't put your intention outside, right? You can put it on a windowsill. Let the darkness of the moon come in and reflect what your soul is longing for and what you need to see. The subconscious spirit message is the magpie. Not the subconscious, the spirit message is the magpie. It says, reevaluate your priorities. That's exactly what we're doing right now, right? That's exactly what spirit was talking about. It is time to let go of what is no longer needed. You're closing the door on certain things where you're like, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't need it. And you're going to find yourself saying it a lot. I don't want it. I don't need it. It moves us then to the chakra energy, angels and spirit guides show me clearly. This is inspiration, sacral chakra, sensual energy, creative energy coming forward, inspiring you, opening up ideas, opening up doors. You're going to see that it's a new day. It's a new dawn. It's a new way of looking at your life and yourself. It brings us then to the energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. We have two. We have the Prince of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And we have the Seven of Pentacles, patience. So it can be that we are having a bit of difficulty with patience, which is perfectly fine. But there can be a fire and anger, a frustration to us. And there can be something that's growing on us right here. I know this is a card of bounty, but I always see the holly, the ivy growing on the tree. And yes, it is a sacred plant in Celtic myth and in Celtic legend and lore. But it also sucks its power from the tree. Instead of taking it from the earth, the nutrients, it takes it from the tree. And ivy was considered more powerful than an oak tree because it could fell an oak. So here, what we're going to see is that we need to cut away what we no longer want, right? We're embracing a rainbow, a blessing that's coming to us. The Prince of Wands is saying here, be mindful of being angry, frustrated, of having other people's passions come over and usurp your own. It moves us then to our subconscious spirit message, and that's the pelican. Choose to follow the path of forgiveness and raise your vibration. Yeah. Release. To forgive. It's not forgiving others, so that's nice, but it's forgiving ourselves. And it is moving forward in what we love, in what we want and like in our lives, and choosing to raise our energy vibration, to walk gently on this earth, to embrace kindness and joy and happiness and compassion. It moves us then to our chakra message. And subconsciously, it's life purpose. We are going to be stepping into our life purpose. This is the throat chakra. We're going to be speaking our life purpose, Scorpio. We're going to be stepping into our life purpose. We're going to be ascending in one way or another through creativity, but also looking at what our soul has been longing for and how we feel like we're coming into balance with ourselves. It moves us then to the energy we need to be mindful of subconsciously, and that's the world. We ended with the world, right? We're stepping into the world, but we don't want to be of the world. We want to be in the world. We're in the world, but not of the world. Meaning that we want to be a part of this world, a part of what is beautiful, but not caught up with everybody's ego and then like, give me more of the world. So just be mindful about that during this time, because it's going to be very easy. There are going to be certain ways that open up that they're not going to align with you. And it's going to be like, no, I don't want this. I don't want what you're offering. There's going to be somebody who comes forward, and I don't know how exactly it is, but it's like, no, it doesn't align with me. I don't want this. And you're going to know it instantly. Your subconscious spirit message is the tarot message is the Ace of Cups. This is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of healing, beautiful love. It's for you. You're a Scorpio, you're water sign energy. This is a Cancer new moon. It's water sign energy. Emotions can run very high during this time. Let yourself release what needs to be released. See what you are afraid of. See what you are overwhelmed by, and let it go. Let it go into the waters. Let yourself cry. Let yourself mourn. Let yourself heal. And this is a beautiful moon for it. We all have sorrow that we carry. This is going to be a time that you see it, acknowledge it, and you let it go. And you let your heart fill with a love you hadn't imagined you could have. And it brings us then to the subconscious moon, which is extremes. This moon does bring extremes with it. It's quite intense. And it brings with it also powerful change. So through the extremes that we go through, expect powerful change. I love this. Because underneath, take action. A new start is coming. Yeah. But it is going to get a little bit intense. It can be very hot, right? Where you are. It can get a little bit spicy in certain situations. Like you can find tempers, rise. Also, if it is getting hotter, people can get a little bit more irritated in the heat. If you're in the southern hemisphere, it's cooler. There can be just an intensity around things, like just weather-wise. It might be not an extreme through heat. It can be an extreme through cold. So just be aware of that. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this moon and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Scorpio. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. Have a blessed moon and a blessed life. Bye.